right, and he probably was, and advertising really is the greatest art form of this modern age, well, that makes Seth Godin the Damien Hirst of marketing. You know Damien Hirst? The artist who famously preserved a tiger shark in formaldehyde? Well, Seth's a bit like that, an ultimate entrepreneur who specializes in ideas.
These idea viruses spread to a population just like the flu.
Ideas that have transformed him into one of America's go-to business gurus. He's a pioneer of internet marketing, the founder of Squidoo.com, which is a wickedly successful site that allows anyone, yes, even you, to build a page about any topic you're passionate about. He's a writer as well, has 13 books, many of them are bestsellers. The latest two, Poke the Box and We Are All Weird. And now with pretty much the whole year in front of us, Seth's got some pretty brave predictions about what lies ahead. First things first. Things don't look good for advertising executives, those real-life mad men and mad women. And when it comes to your job, the idea of keeping your head down and doing what you're told, over. He says we're all going to have to change, or never mind the race to the top. You'll be racing to the bottom. Please welcome Seth Godin. Nice to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
What a pleasure. You're such a pro.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice to have you. I love the books, too. They're short. There's lots of them.
Exactly.
So you can always
They're
always
like
follow.
peanuts.
They're like peanuts. That's exactly right. So here we are, 2012. Are you hopeful?
What a new year that was.
Fantastic.
Wow.
How was your New Year's Eve party, everybody? You're lying. No, seriously, 2012. What do you
Here's the thing. The recession is a forever recession.
You think
There's
so?
a cyclical recession that comes and goes, but there's this other thing, and it's the end of the industrial age. It lasted for 80 years. For 80 years, you got a job, you did what you were told, you retired. And good people could make above average pay for average work. And it ended. And so 2012 is not going to be more of the same. It's going to be worse of the same in that the industrial age is going away and a new thing is going to take its place.
It doesn't strike me as we're a group of people who are prepared for this new thing yet.
Totally unprepared. Absolutely. Because our schools, our systems, our retirement things, our taxes are all built around this notion of doing what you're told. And now we don't know what to do because it's a revolution.
And so what do you think we should do?
Pick yourself. Don't wait for someone to pick you. If you have a book, you don't need a publisher to pick you. You can publish it yourself. If you want to write, write. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to start a movement, start a movement. But this shift is that it doesn't matter whether you own a building or own a big company. You can now make an impact if you want to.
Well, there was this idea that people think the government owes them a job, or at least owes them the opportunity to get a job. Has that changed?
Well, I think the thinking hasn't changed at all, because that's what we grew up to believe, that this notion of you pay your taxes and you do what you're told and there's a pension and a safety net is hardwired in. Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, all those guys built it into the system. And now it's starting to crumble, and the jobs are moving. There's a McDonald's in California. You pull into the drive-thru and you say your order, and you can see the guy 12 feet away who's flipping burgers. You're not talking to him. Yeah. It goes over TCP/IP through the internet and a satellite to someone in South Dakota who's making 12 cents less an hour, who types in what you said and back over, because they could save 12 cents doing that. So there's this race to the bottom. And if you're going to say, I'm an average guy doing average work, we'll find someone cheaper than you.
But is it that there was a revolution, or is it that corporations felt like they had an unfettered path?
Yeah, capitalism has always needed boundaries. And so if you got people racing, and if the boundaries get loosened, they're going to race faster. The alternative, though, which I'm much more interested in, is the race to the top. So while there's people who are racing to the bottom, there's...
What's race to the bottom? What is that?
Yeah, the race to the bottom is, how do we get cheaper? How does everything get cheaper? More Walmarts, more Targets, more stuff made by people who are getting paid ever less from cheaper materials, cheaper services, whatever. The problem with the race to the bottom is you might win, which really sucks, right?
Totally.
The alternative is to race to the top. And some people are getting to race to the top because the internet and this revolutionary connection engine that we're all living with says if you can figure out how to do something interesting or unique or noteworthy, people will find you and pay you extra. Because you're not like everyone else, but cheaper. You're different than everyone and more expensive.
But the whole system needs to change.
Yeah.